Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lie you try to hide away from the scars we made. This is your chance to understand we did not design this plan that was built for you. There's nothing you can do. This is my warning, this is your sign that you can't go running high. We will fight for you. You know it to be true. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we know. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lie you try to hide away from the scars we made. From the scars we Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. Shine a light on everything. Please don't be scared for what we made. Welcome to a whole new world. All the lie you try to hide away from the scars we made. Welcome to a Back when nothing truly mattered and we hadn't had a clue. We fell in to play the game. Nothing would ever be the same. There were times when there was laughter. There were times when there was joy. But they took it all away for the pleasure in our pain.
Touching and louder to the rays. Fuel burns in the glow of the pixel blaze. The rubber moves roll with a fist clenched tight. Your TV lights up the endless night. Fight to fight, we live the speed. Our TV feeds our endless need. breakneck roll, sim racers tearing through the thunder soul. Gear shifts crack like a lightning storm. Digital warriors breaking the norm. Turn the wheel to the breakneck roll, sim racers tearing through the thunder soul.
And welcome back to Nerd TV for a fine Thursday evening live from the ProSim Racing Alliance race number 7 at North Wilkesboro, as we're going to tackle this short track style here tonight as we get the countdown to green underway. Got some points to talk about. We got some things to do, and cool. Let's go ahead and go over the weather here right after this countdown to green icon apparel company logo pops up on your screen. And here we go. 80 degrees Fahrenheit, 57% humidity, partly cloudy, no winds, short track style, so it's just straight up racing weather. Doesn't seem to be a factor here this evening. My name is Jeremy Stanley. And to my right hand side, my partner in crime on these Thursday nights, Mr. Colt Ainsley. Welcome back after your 1 week hiatus. What's going on, man?
Nothing much. Watching these guys struggle right now, it's pretty entertaining. These guys, I ran a couple of laps of practice before this, and of all the setups that I've run the fixed set for, this one's probably the best. Still not good, but the track tip is so hot, these guys are going to be struggling for grip all night long. So this is going to be a entertaining race, to say the least.
Yeah, 124 degrees on track, kind of blistering hot.
Mm-hmm.
These ARCA cars have a lot of grip in these general tires, but at the same token, it doesn't hold up well at 124 degrees, and turn 4 seems to be very slippy slidey for a lot of drivers out here. And you can kind of tell that they need practice. Usually you come into a session, Colt, and you see like maybe 20 laps posted, 25, just getting things warmed up. No, there is, let's see, 2 drivers that are in the 100+ laps of practice, Peyton Wagner and Frank Griffith. So, and a lot of guys are in the 50s, 60 range as well. Joshua Ingram in 90s. So these guys need it. You can obviously tell they're ill handling and with a lot of time. So this should be an interesting one. It could be a fantastic race, or it could be polar opposite. Hopefully not that, but always has a chance here at the very beat up, worn down North Wilkesboro.
Well, we had a good race at the beat up, worn down Rockingham Speedway last week, so that was very fun to watch and kind of be a pit reporter a little bit.
Yeah.
But I noticed in one of our open test sessions that we ran, we were doing all kinds of stuff to try to get the car to turn in the center and not wheel spin off the corner. And what we learned is the track seems to be very, very lines sensitive, which is, as we expected for Wilkesboro, but it's also very temperature sensitive. We ran a second room where we cooled the track down, and it was a completely different track. I mean, if I didn't see all the landmarks, I'd have thought we were in South Boston or something like that. It was completely different. Track had so much more grip. Was still tight, and we were still struggling to get the car to rotate, but that's just going to be kind of the name of the game. So, yeah, definitely going to be interesting. 20 degrees right now. It's you could throw some eggs out there on the track if you're hungry.
Yeah, it's climbing. 124 to start. It went up to 125, so 1 degree bump. As we're really close to 1 p.m. server time. So right in the most hottest part of the afternoon. They do have the time set for ×2. So the time's clicking just a little quicker than normal. So at 125 laps here, we're probably going to finish this race somewhere around 3 or 4 p.m., which server time, of course. Which, that might or might not affect how the grip is on the track, but we'll find out as we get there. But Colt, we have qualifying to go over, so we're going to get our cameras off your screens, and we're going to go right along with some drivers around this track and see how qualifying is done. Your fastest person in practice was the guy who turned the most laps, surprisingly, Peyton Wagner, car number 8. He's actually already rolling, so let's go ahead for the first time in a while. Let's roll with our fastest guy in practice in his Toyota Camry.
Yeah, as we see Peyton roll off here, I'm looking at the track temp. It rose another 4 degrees to 128 degrees. So it's even hotter, even slicker. We'll see if this catches these guys out. Peyton running the bottom lane there, very, very interesting. You see him kind of rolling over the bumps there. Gets down, he's going to run all the way down the bottom. You'll see there's a little bit of progressive banking here. The flats, or the bottom is very flat, and it kind of rolls up and then gets even towards the top. I saw some guys running all the way up against the wall, kind of a Bristol style. Some guys like Peyton running all the way around the bottom, and some guys right around the middle. I feel like our race line is going to be right up above that first dotted line, and it's going to kind of gently go up from there. I don't know that we're going to see a lot of guys run the bottom. It's just going to, it might be fast for a couple of laps, but it's just going to leave too much to the other cars. You're giving them too much room, and this is a place that if you can get your car in the way of somebody ever so slightly, it's going to make their life miserable.
Yeah, you can do have a little bit of leeway when it comes to racing around this track. Turn 1 and turn 2, I don't know how or why, but the outside lane seems to work. Whether it be their newly repaved version that NASCAR has recently ran on another series, or if it's iRacing here on the old beat-up version. There's something about driving downhill into turn 1, a little bit of a grip patch there on the upper half of the corner. And then it kind of it runs all the way through to corner exit. So not maybe on the fresh tires, but when you get to the later stages of the green run, you might be able to see multi-groove racing in 1 and 2, 3 and 4. It's probably not. You're probably going to see them just hug that curbing down there, which is pretty substantial. If you do hit that, Colt, you might find yourself in a little trouble, don't you think?
Yeah, I hit it in practice multiple times, and it's comparable to the Martinsville curb. And anyone who's ever got in a race car and ran at a short track knows the Martinsville curb. And then down to 1 and 2, where there's not a curb, it's just grass. I would almost rather hit the curb. You get in that grass, you get all the grass blades and dirt all in your tires, and it is not fun. So definitely, these guys running around the bottom here, they definitely want to keep it on the pavement. Don't try to shortcut it in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, 100%. Do not do that. And it's a little egg shaped too in 1 and 2. You kind of, if you run early into the corner entry, you really wash up hard on center to exit. So something to keep in mind out as well is that we're continuing to ride on board with a few drivers before this qualifying session ends, which ends in 1 minute and 40 seconds from now. Got just a couple drivers, looks like, on track 2 at the moment here, as we have about 12 drivers or so with times posted. Your fastest being Derek Runge in the 99 so far.
Yeah, definitely not a surprise with Runge running up there, but right behind him, 1,000th of a second off, Will Hewitt, kind of an underrated short track driver. He and I ran as teammates years back in the SCAR Super Late Model Series, which is kind of a predecessor to this one, and we were 1 and 2 pretty much every week, and it was a lot of fun battling. He's a pretty good short track racer. Billy Bigley hanging back there, a couple of thousandths off of that, and at a 1951, Brandon Schumann in 1952. These times are super close. I mean, we're looking at a 10th between 1st and 7th. That is ridiculous. You could throw them all under a blanket as they cross the line. That is that's actually really good to see. So we'll see how these guys hold up bunched together. They can run 2 laps fast. Can they run 75 laps all bunched up together?
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We might have to pit for tires more so than fuel at this track. But yeah, 75 laps at a short track kind of sounds about right.
125, sorry.
Yeah, you kind of 125 total. I don't know if the tank can go that long, but you're kind of going over times there and how close they are. It's kind of surprising to me. Usually, if you're like at Bristol, where it's smooth and you just have a certain pace there, and it's very on top of each other time wise. But this track causes some variances because of how old it is and how bumpy it is, and but still, the top was it the top 6 or 7 all within 1/10? That's still
Mhm.
pretty impressive with these 18 entries here. You faked me out with you joining in as a driver, so
I bet.
19 technically with your name on there, but 18 total that will be starting this thing off. And speaking of starting the race, look at this. They are on the front row, ready to grid up. So here we go for race number 7. Here's your starting lineup at North Wilkesboro. Derek Runge and Will Hewitt are going to take P1 and P2. Row number 2, you'll find Corey Bigley and Brandon Schumann. Row 3, you have Peyton Wagner and Vincent Short. Row 4 will be Dominic Bettini and Ryan Chapman. Row 5 will be John Freeman and Steve Rada. Row 6 is going to be Anthony Burleson and Chase Rockford, which, by the way, those are the 12 who have posted time. The rest of the entries are just sorted by their I rating from highest to lowest. So row 7 will be Aaron Longworth and Keenan Kimber. Row 8, David Bradford and Mark Truxell. And row 9, final row here this evening, Frank Griffith and Joshua Ingram. We're going to take 2 pace laps around here, Colt. And then these things are going to set loose for 125 laps. Very curious on how this car handles not just the short run, but the long run.
Yeah, definitely. It's we're gonna do some on an old school track. We're gonna bring some new school cars, and yeah, a lot of different disciplines coming into this. People run different things, but this is a good old fashioned short track. It's a high speed short track, but it is a short track, and we're most definitely gonna see some bent bumpers and even more bent tempers tonight.
You're probably not wrong. There's gonna be at least one driver that's gonna be upset about something somewhere at North Wilkesboro. It's just how it is. Short track racing at its finest. It's amplified here just because of old track reasons. But we had a great showing, like you said earlier, at Rockingham. Rockingham produced fantastic racing. That track is a little larger than this one by far, but at that same token, you said it's old, it's beat down, and they're able to make a great show out of it. I think we should see a mix of that tonight. There's going to be some rough goings here, absolutely. So I guess the 2 key takeaways can... Actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to say that first one. So let's go over the stats here real quick because we got 1 to go. We have 3 drivers that started all 6 races. That's Rodney Roberts, Dominic Bettini, and Brandon Schumann. That happens to be our top 3 in points, go figure. Then the other 2 are Billy Bigley Jr. and John Freeman. That's your top 5, which I have posted in the YouTube chat. So just to kind of keep you aware of who is in the top 5, it is posted for you visually to see at all times tonight. Just have to look at the chat on the right-hand side of your screen. Colt, I'm going to let you run this down to the green flag.
All right. Well, one note before we get going, I was listening to my iRacing side. There is a ton of rubber down on the bottom of the track. I'm listening to Derek Runge pick it all up. So let's hope they get him scrubbed off. Pace car is off, and green flag is immediately out. Derek Runge off to a good start, but so much wheel spin from Will Hewitt and pretty much everybody back in the pack. Runge is going to get down to the bottom, and Corey Bigley is going to come up. Is there room? Nope. Will Hewitt hangs to the outside.
These guys are taking it very, very easy through this first lap here, tiptoeing, getting these tires warmed up before they drop the hammer a little bit more on corner exit. Turn 4 is very, very slippery. No matter which vehicle you do happen to run the top 5, single file, then you still remain 2x2 through 10th place on back as the leaders start to separate each other real quick here. As there's some balloons that are flying.
Oh, and there's trouble already.
No, Vincent Short.
Oh, Keenan Kimber.
Caution, lap number 3. I was just commenting on some balloons I did not know that flew in the infield here. Apparently that's a thing, but at the same token, we got a lot of damage. Got Keenan Kimber, I think a Vincent Short, and a third car, the 42 as well. Of Aaron Longworth. So 3 cars heavy damage, and here we go. Just a little too much tire spin, it looks like, Colt.
Yep, wheel spin off the corner. Everybody has to really be careful on the corner exit. Oh, Aaron Longworth. It was good to see him back, but man, he got clipped there. I didn't see him in the initial wreck, and Chase Rockford gets a little bit of damage, but he might not be too terribly off. But Vincent Short, man, the bad luck just keeps going for this poor guy. He cannot catch a break in this series to save his life. But yeah, just a little too much wheel spin. You gotta drive this racetrack with an egg under your throttle pedal, and got a little too excited. But everybody was doing it. It wasn't just Vince. I was watching Derek Runge, and pretty much 2 out of the 4 laps we ran, he was dead sideways coming out of 4. So it's not just them in the back fighting for everything they can get. It's everybody. There is no grip on this track.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame too. Vincent Short came into this thing 53 laps in practice, all to just run 3 laps under green flag racing conditions before he has exited the session tonight. Hate to see it, but yeah, you're gonna have to take 5 to 10 laps before you can really hammer down for probably 15 or 20, and then you have to go back to feathering it because the rear tires are just gonna not enjoy life as they know it, as we have a lap and a half left before we go back to green flag. Shout out to our series, or it's not our series, but our Nerditudes partner. I usually lead off with iRacing iFlag recently, but this time I'm going with Icon Apparel. Give them a shout out once more. IconApparelCompany.com is the place to go if your team is looking for a esports jersey, or any jersey for that matter, for a softball team, school team, you name it. You can customize the look and everything about your jersey, or you can get custom embroidered hats as well with your team logo on it. That all comes at a fantastic price, especially when you can use our promotion code SuperNerd. It'll save you that whopping 25% off your entire purchase. And once again, it's IconApparelCompany.com. See, I'm already getting myself mixed up. Colt, but here we go. We're going back. Green flag, the 99, the 28. Leading off this restart, Derek Runge, Corey Bigley. Corey's up 1 spot, finding himself on the front row on this one, restarting on lap 8. Green flag, huge tires bent by Corey. Man, oh man, that could have gone bad. They keep it going straight and green here. Turn 1, turn 2. He's going to lose that spot to Will Hewitt.
It looks like that second starting position. Oh, Corey Bigley dives right down to the 33. Kind of spooked him up the track a little bit. But it looks like the outside lane for that second starting spot is going to be almost detrimental. You would almost want to be in 3rd place, because watching Corey Bigley with that wheel spin looked identical to Will Hewitt there on the initial start. There's just no grip up there. I don't know if the track is more flat right there, and there's, the banking falls away more. But yeah, whoever's in 2nd place, they are going to have to take it easy, start in a higher gear, or just be gentle on the throttle and kind of maintain rather than trying to gain ground like you typically would for 2nd place. Oh, Steve goes around.
He was next on my notes here to talk about his paint scheme, but we're going to put him on camera for the wrong reasons, as he goes for a little self-spin, no contact, but it's slow enough to bring out the 2nd caution on lap number 10 this evening. Driver the number 3, Steve Rada. He's in a Glenn Allen Jr. 1994 scheme from the ASA series. So, like, a scheme probably no one has ever even known about. But he's going to throw it back in the ARCA series. That's what I had on my notepad, not for him spinning. But needless to say, since he's here, there you go. There's a rider through the infield. A little 90-degree whoopsie-doozies, and everybody else is on pit road, including him.
Well, we got a good look at it, so even in slow motion. So maybe who knows? Steve might have done it on purpose just to get some camera time. But luckily for him, he didn't hit anything. I saw Frank Griffin nearly spin out himself trying to lock it down, not hitting him. So good on him for not making contact. And yeah, everybody firing off on pit road. These are very tiny pit stalls, I noticed going through practice. There is like no room. Thankfully, cars don't have hitboxes on pit road, because there would be a lot of contact if they did have hitboxes.
Man, this is 1987. They didn't have to worry about that then. I mean, they had big cars, but they weren't worried about, how many pit stalls and how big the stalls had to be. They just did it old school style, but they couldn't drive through others, which we get the nice luxury on the iRacing service. When you're within, I think, 4 or 5 pit stalls from yours, your car becomes like a ghost and you can just drive through people. That's probably saved millions of incident points, I would imagine, over was it 2008 that came out, and this is 2025, so 17 years this game simulation's been out. That's probably saved an amazing amount of X's, and especially here. I'm glad that you can drive through cars here.
Yeah, because there's like we've been talking about, there's not a lot of room. And I mean, back to what you were saying. I don't know that they even had pit road speed limits at the
No.
point that they ran here. So
No.
you're talking about guys doing 110 miles an hour down into their pit stall. So it they were a different breed back then. We have it easy.
Big Trickle lighting up a cigarette while on a pace lap. Yeah, it's fine, no problem. And Dustin confirms in our ear, yes, there was no pit limit when this race was ran in the Cup Series. Green flag back out on lap 15. 2 cautions down. We're almost at the 100 laps to go mark, which will be at 10 laps from now as we get through turn 1, turn 2. A little contact there from one driver. Outside of that, everybody else looks nice and clean through this section of the course, completing the first lap. Steve and the 56 as well, both running right up against the wall line. And clean first lap.
Yeah, it looks like Will Hewitt was able to fire off a little bit better on that restart. He still lost ground at Bigley, but he didn't nearly spin out like he did last time. And we watched Brandon Schumann getting right up against that wall. Man, he is. I mean, you could put a piece of paper between his car and the wall. I'm curious what happened to Peyton Wagner, though, because he was up there really close to the front. He's only slipped back to 5th, but he seemed like he had slipped pretty far back the restart before. So maybe a lot of wheel spin. I'm watching him. It looks like he's sending it off in the corner pretty far. He's kind of hopping that left front tire, and he might need to back it down just a touch, or his tires are going to be screaming at him here in a few laps.
120 plus practice laps. You would think you would have it down. Nope. This track is too difficult to nail down very consistently each lap in and out of the say 19 laps. Or 18 laps down, 19 is underway here. The only race leader of the night breaking out to almost a half a second lead over Corey Bigley in the 28. As those two start to set sail over the 33, Will Hewitt, who's back almost a full second from the race lead. 2-car breakaway and single filed here for the most part. One car looked like maybe the 52, Brandon Schumann, tried to do a quick dive underneath Peyton Wagner. Had to back it down because that lane was taken up on entry.
Yeah, and the last thing you want to do is get squeezed going into a corner and then try to light up your rear tires to get out of the corner, because that's just asking to spin down into the pit wall. So smart on him to back it down. I mean, we're only 21 laps in. There's already 3 cars that are out of the race. And so, yeah, he was making the smart decision, playing the long game. And he probably knows he's going to race around Peyton for most of the night. So he might just be kind of taking his time. as he kind of shows him the nose a little bit. But he's going to be racing around him most of the night. He's probably just trying to get a feel for what Peyton's doing. So maybe he can learn something a little bit further in the race. Oh, somebody hit the curb.
Yeah, Brandon Schumann, 52. He just bounced off of it. He showed the nose, and if he did not hit him, he was super close to Peyton's rear bumper in turn 1 and turn 2. He got the spot down the back stretch, gets to turn 3. Oh, Peyton Wagner saves it. Man, right in front of Brandon.
Oh, wow, what a save.
Excellent save by the driver, the number 8, Peyton Wagner, who loses the spot to Brandon Schumann, and as well as to, well, John Freeman, who's in the 42 but 17 on the pylon.
Yeah, that is not an easy save to make. When you light the right rear tire up like that, the whole car shifts over. It wants to just immediately spin out. And if you correct it with the wheel, you will immediately spin out. And really the only thing to do is to lift out of the gas and kind of feather it. And then the car gets all weight shifty and goes back and forth, doesn't want to make up its mind. And so good on him to be able to save that and not immediately spin up into Brandon Schumann, because it's so easy to get frustrated and just mat the throttle and spin right back up into the guy next to you. So good on him for hanging on to it and not wrecking anybody else in the process.
Little fun battle that's going on right here as well. A couple of fun battles really going around the field as we're logging some more green. Oh, the number 3, Steve Rada, just slams the outside wall corner exit turn 2.
Oh.
Driver the 3 in P10 where he started 26 laps ago, but it looks like his car is A-OK. Probably no, you can't really see the damage. He hit the wall really hard on my screen. I'm surprised you don't. Oh, but here we go.
He's breaking loose. Oh, don't mat the
And-
throttle. Don't mat the throttle.
He's trying to do it again. He saves it this time. Steve, easy on the throttle, man. Turn 2 seems to be just as challenging as turn 4.
One of the most important things you learn in racing is to finish first. You must first finish. And these guys have got to back
What?
it down a little bit. See, Josh Ingram nailed the wall. These guys have got to back it down. That we're so early in this race. We're just under 100 to go. And there, you got to... Oh, Derek Runge. Sorry, I saw out of the corner of my eye. Derek Runge got loose out of 2. Corey Bigley fighting for the lead around the outside.
For the first lead change, it's going to happen. Corey Bigley on lap 29 headed to 30 is going to be your first lead change,
wow.
second leader, but here comes Run, still trying on the inside. Corey has to lift a little bit as he gets loose. So does Derek Runge. Almost keeps the nose there. Finally clears Corey Bigley, sole possession, race lead.
Corey had been tracking Derek down the past couple laps. I've been watching it out of the corner of my eye. But it looks like he just kind of drove up to him and got him up out of the way, got him loose. I don't know that he ever hit him, but Corey got him loose and was able to work his way around the outside, which is, I'm kind of surprised he was able to make the outside work at this stage. The bottom's, as much as I said in the qualifying segment that the bottom wasn't going to be dominant, it seems to be. And these guys are having to find their way around another car, and it's either boot them out of the way or just hug the outside of that first groove and make a pass on the outside. So maybe we'll see a few guys. I'm seeing like Brandon Schumann, he's starting to work that top lane in. Maybe if they can get up there and get some rubber laid down, they'll be able to widen the racetrack out a bit.
Yeah, it's going to take some commitment for sure for a couple drivers to go up there and find that. We got a nice attempt at a pass. Ryan Chapman in car number 11, who started 8th place. He's now fighting for second. Does not get it that time, but Derek's slowly starting to fall back after being the race leader for 30 laps, and he does a great job off of turn 2 to try to defend second place. But Ryan really good in the center. They're able to rotate, keep the throttle down as best as he can. Gets a little loose, has to lift. Derek once more, almost able to clear the 11. Ryan slides up just a little bit. It's getting racing. Here comes Will Hewitt as well.
Yeah, Will Hewitt's just sitting there waiting for something stupid to happen, and he goes to the inside of Ryan Chapman, but he hits the curb, jumps up almost half a lane. Man, Derek Runge's tires are not happy. I saw him starting to go away, but he is struggling for grip right now. He's loose in, he's loose off. He is just fighting for everything he can right now. Probably a little bit of frustration too. And so that's leading to him. Oh, Ryan Chapman sent it into the corner. He's going to slide up. Will Hewitt's going to have a look at the bottom.
Yeah, Ryan couldn't hold the bottom. Probably overheated the tire just a little bit. Derek with that outside momentum able to keep it. And now Ryan has to cool him back off before he makes another attempt at the 99, who these guys have now fallen 1.2 seconds behind your race leader, Corey Bigley, as he is shot out of a cannon way ahead of the entire field. Second through fifth, nose to tail here at the start-finish line to start off lap 38. We're going to take our first picture-in-picture commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hey, can you do me a favor? I'm really hungry, but I'm trapped in here, and I dropped my last piece of boozy jerky on the floor. I can't reach it. Would you mind grabbing me a bag of the most tender, flavorful booze-infused jerky on the planet? I promise I'll pay you back. I mean, I'd eat my piece, but I can't reach it. Oh, actually, I got it. Oh, it's so good. It's so tender, so flavorful. You should really pick yourself up a bag. But if you do, you can't eat it in here. Now, this is my spot. I own this spot. Boozy jerky. The original booze-infused beef jerky with a pair. Now,
Back to full screen here, lap 46. Let's go to 125 for race number 7 of the PSRA Fixed ARCA Series. And we've had a very, very long green flag run after the first 2 quickie cautions. We got rolling around lap 10, 36 laps later. Look at this. 2nd through 5th, still producing excellent racing out here, Colt.
As they're fighting their way through lap traffic, John Freeman got stuck right in between those 2 lap cars of Chase Rockford and Tony Burleson there. But they worked their way through it. I was curious to see how much they might hold up the leaders, but it seems like they tried to let them go to the best of their ability. And not always possible, but they did their best to not affect the race. Thank you, guys. But Will Hewitt, I've been watching him. He got, well, as I say that, he gets really loose on exit. But he had been tracking down Ryan Chapman there for a minute, and I thought he was getting ready to make a pass, but it seems like Chapman is pulling away a little bit. He might have been saving a little bit of those rear tires, and Hewitt may have burned his off slightly.
I'm going to do a quick look over the 71 Chase Rockford, not because of position on track, but paint scheme alert. Little Ozzy Osbourne throwback, chrome finish on this 71 as Dustin's going to fly the drone camera. I knew he was going to do it exactly when I called it. Take a look around this thing. Just the many faces of Ozzy himself. It's kind of hard to tell in some lighting because it is chromed out, but if you get a good side shot of this thing, there you go. No sponsors whatsoever, just the official logo for the series. Those are 3 wide on the front stretch. But there you go. There's a look at the 71's tribute scheme.
Yeah, it's been a rough week for, unfortunately, losing people. We have, Ozzy, and then now Hulk Hogan, and it's not been a good year to be a celebrity, it seems.
And they come in 3s typically. Hopefully we don't see a 3rd this time, but it's usually like the thing. So Dustin had somebody's name. I did not hear what he said. Steph-Ann. Where's that from, sir? Oh, yeah, Chef. Okay, yeah, Chef fan. Yeah, I saw that. Actually, you know what? I don't know if Dustin has his microphone live or not, but he was saying Chef fan. I thought I heard something different, but yeah. She actually, I think, passed away June 17th, and they finally had a final report that came out this week, or even today, even, on exactly what happened, as we got that news. Apparently taking her own life through a concoction of stuff, probably on accident, I don't know, but yeah, here to have that news on top of everything else this week has been quite the tragic scene this week. So just shout out to those celebs who brought a lot of entertainment and multiple genres of anything popular. And rest in peace, y'all 3.
I thought you were talking to yourself there for a minute, trying to figure out who that was. I was trying to figure out if I needed to mute your mic, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, mute my mic, absolutely. You don't need to hear me. Nope, you can't shut me off. My mic is good as nothing, sir, so.
You were having a moment. I needed to let you have a moment, so. But been some good battles on the racetrack. A lot of side-by-side. Looked like Mark Truxell and Peyton Wagner were side-by-side. I'm sorry, not Mark Truxell. Dominic Bettini was in there, Frank Griffith, Peyton Wagner, a lot of side-by-side battles. Very clean. They're not taking each other out. So, good job. And
yeah,
right now, their tires are so angry. There's no grip.
Jeff Brown from iRacingIFlag.com, he just reminded us, too, also Malcolm Jamal Warner, actor. I forgot about that at the moment. So, yeah, there's your trifecta for the week. So hopefully no more names pop up on that list for a little bit, as we're seeing some really ill-handling cars. This is the 54 Frank Gifford. Ran over 100 plus laps in practice, and he has struggle busting. He's worked himself up from 17th to 8th, but now his car, he can't keep this thing from sliding off every corner.
One of the worst parts about running a lot of laps, specifically if you run by yourself, is you can run a lot of laps at a racetrack and be fast, because he was relatively fast in practice, but that whole time you can be teaching yourself bad habits. So you might be fast, but you've learned something that you can't unlearn in this session. And so I feel like some of these guys, Peyton Wagner, Frank Griffith, maybe one or two others, they did that. They ran so many laps, but they were running all those laps incorrectly. Not that everybody's going to run them correctly, and really nobody's running these laps correctly, but they run them off in some way, shape, or form. A little too much throttle, a little too much brake, a little too much steering input, maybe a combination of all of them. And you do that for 100 plus laps, you're going to get into a rhythm. You're going to form a habit. And if that habit's bad, you're going to transfer that habit into the race. And I feel like that's kind of what happened to Frank Griffin. Oh, Corey Bigley in the wall. I feel like that's what happened to Frank Griffin and Peyton Wagner. They're two of the fastest guys in practice, and they are now at the tail end of the lead lap.
We're on lap 63, headed to 64, as we're just passing the halfway mark of tonight's 125 lap event for race number 7 of the ProSim Racing Alliance Fixed ARCA Series. We're gonna take a little turn up the tunes moment. We're gonna crank up the sounds of these engines, turn off our voices, let you listen in. We'll be right back. Hopefully y'all enjoyed that. Minus the break where we don't have to, talk the whole time. It's actually kind of cool just to kick back and listen to the car sounds only. You don't get too many opportunities to do that. So there you go. For the ones who are currently tuning in on YouTube right now, is we saw the 8 of Peyton Wagner. He spun out 2 laps ago as green flag pit stops are starting to kick in. Here's John Freeman in the 17/42. He's on pit road. I think this is our second or third front runner to come down pit road. But at this time, we still have race leader Corey Bigley with a 2.5-second lead over Ryan Chapman. And everybody else's 10 seconds are back. So it's the Corey Bigley show here at North Wilkesboro.
Things of the turn of the tunes is we get to be race fans for a little bit. We were willing the 8 car to get that car straight and rolling. So good job on him. He didn't sit there and park it waiting for a caution. He grabbed a gear, got it fired up, and kept it rolling. Didn't bring out the caution, didn't mess up anyway, because right in the middle of a green flag pit stop, that would have messed up so many cars. I mean, I'm looking at 5 probably. That would have been trapped a lap down. One would have got the lucky dog. The rest would have had to get a wave around. It would have not been fun. He probably would have needed security to leave North Wilkesboro. So good job for him to stay out of the way. We see Will Hewitt tracking down Ryan Chapman. We're going to see how good the fresh tires are now compared to these 80-lap-old tires that Chapman's on.
Yeah, we need some short track tempers. Me and you both said something about it just on the pre-race show presented by Icon Apparel Company. And where is it? We don't have any.
There's still a long way to go.
I mean, we do have 45 laps, now 44. Oh, here we go. Speaking of which,
Devil.
Brandon Schumann dumped by the 49 of Dominic Bettini, who quickly comes on the radio and says, "I apologize. This is all me." You see him rear end sliding already on the Nerd TV replay. He saves it right here. This is super slow motion. Kick it up a little bit into turn 2. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Air pocket plus close racing equals spin out for Brandon Schumann.
Yeah, a little bit of net code there. Can't deny that, but they were going to make contact regardless of what was going to happen there. The 52 sliding his right rear tire a little bit. That didn't look natural, but
yeah, did you see that right rear?
Yeah, he was kind of
He was
dragging
moonwalking that thing backwards.
He must have locked the rear diff or something. But yeah, it looked like a little bit too much rear brake on the Bettini car. Got in there and back end stepped out. Good job saving it. Like, he didn't just pile in there and wipe out the 52. He kept his foot in it, kept it going, and just, I mean, they probably would have made contact for sure. I don't know that I would have spun the 52, but they would have for sure made contact. It just, unfortunately, that net code got in the way.
4 cars currently backed out of this race so far. Frank Gifford, who just disconnected. Then the 3 drivers from the main first wreck: Aaron Longworth, Keenan Kimber, Vincent Short. 4 drivers out. 13 do remain here as we're on our 3rd caution of this race, happening on lap 81 here. They're going to start to file in. Colt, you said that Peyton Wagner was going to need security if he were to bring out a caution. Does Dominic Bettini need that same security clearance for bringing out this one, trapping the low guys multiple laps down?
I think he might get away with it because it looks like a lot of cars are getting the wave around, so he might have dodged a bullet. I'm looking at, let's see here, Will Hewitt might be, we got Brandon Schumann, the first car behind the pace car. Oh no, they might be getting the wave around, but I don't think there is a free pass because Schumann is the first car lap down, it's showing, and he was a part of the caution, so there might not be a true free pass. So yeah, maybe he might need that security after all. Because at least Will Hewitt's not going to be able to go down and get a set of fresh tires.
Kind of listen to some in-race chatter on the radio. We might have short track temper starting to kick up. Wasn't sure who that was directed to, so I'm going to keep that on the low until I figured that out. But here we go. Green flag back in the air as the pace car drips down here, restarting on lap 86. So 40 laps remaining in race number 7 of the ProSim Racing Alliance Fixed ARCA Series. at the simulated North Wilkesboro Speedway. Corey Bigley, Ryan Chapman, Derek Runge, Dominic Bettini, and Peyton Wagner currently sitting as your top 5. Ryan Chapman on the attack early. We know he's got an early fast car. Can he somehow break clear the 28 and be the third leader tonight?
Yeah, these 3 guys right here, they are going to race each other to death. I don't think there's a whole lot of love lost between any of them. And seems like pretty much every week there's an incident between at least one of them, whether it's their fault or not, between, you know, Bigley and Chapman and Runge. But all of them are really good race car drivers, and we'll see if they are able to put their impatience aside and their tempers aside and see if they can race it out and see who's just straight up the best driver. And we got Derek Runge. He's kind of laying back there, just being patient. I think Ryan Chapman is on the attack. He wants to go. It's a little odd that iRacing went ahead and went green there, because they let all the cars go, and I know that they let him go coming to 1 to green, right? But there's not enough time to get around North Wilkesboro in 1 lap to get back to the back of the pack. Plus, the restart zone's a little odd here, so it's a little interesting. Maybe iRacing might need to look at that and adjust their restart zone and adjust their what lap they let lap down cars by.
The iRacing has a uniform code, so it doesn't matter if you're on a 2.5 mile track or a 1/4 mile. Once you get the 1 to go, you get the wave around. So either A, you extend it by a lap and then change all tracks to be 2 laps to get back, which would probably be the best case. But at the same token, you don't want to run 5 or 6 laps under caution at Talladega. So there's the coding is just stagnant for one size fits all. And it doesn't bode well for places like North Wilkesboro, as you saw that. But admins do have the authority to extend the caution at any point in time if they deem that anything isn't ready, like cars aren't caught up or positions aren't figured out. Admins, I guess, decided that it was okay to let it just sort itself out and go back to green flag. But yeah, there's like, 6 cars that were caught up before you start seeing the massive gaps between each one. But needless to say, they allowed it to go by, and we're green flag here as we're getting close to lap 100.
Curious if we're going to see some alternate strategies form from that, because we got, guys like John Freeman, Will Hewitt that are back in 6th and 7th position. I mean, half a lap behind the leaders. They might be thinking about saving their tires. Well, I say that. Every time we go to Will Hewitt and I say he's saving his tires, he is dirt track sideways. So thanks, Dustin. But I was going to say they might be trying to save their tires a little bit for if there is a caution here in the next 15 to 20 laps. The tires might equalize with the leaders. Maybe the leaders will go down pit, take 2 tires. Something that they can work their way back up. Or even just a caution and get back on the same strategy as everybody else and fight it out head to head. But right now they are stuck.
Here we go.
Is Ryan Chapman to the inside.
Yeah, he's lucky, man. 28 had a little hiccup off turn 2. Ryan made a hesitant move to make the pass late. Almost was blocked by Corey, but then Ryan was able to secure that spot. Now we're door to door, 1 and 2, down the back straightaway on lap 97. Ryan Chapman technically led that last lap by 37 1/1000th and the caution, so Ryan's going to secure the top spot and get the 4th caution of the evening on lap 97. And this caution might have been by... I don't know where that caution came from. Was it Brandon Schumann?
52.
Yeah, Brandon Schumann off of turn 4.
A little too hard into the gas. And, this time he noses it into the wall, but it doesn't look like there's too much damage. He was already kind of destined to do that, though, because of the free pass. He did not get a chance to pit, so he was on those hot tires that he had already spun out. They were already old tires. Then he spun out, which just heated him up even more, blistered him slightly, and then he's left with having to run essentially the rest of the race like that. He was kind of dealt a bad hand there, so I'll cut him some slack. But we do have some split pitch strategies here. Ryan Chapman and I almost said Billy Bigley. That's his original name. Corey Bigley stays out. Derek Runge pulls everybody else down onto pit road. So we're about to see how important tires are. There's 15-ish laps between now and the last caution, so we'll see if there's a time split for these sets of tires.
Yeah, I'd be curious too. I know the front runners have been a much faster overall than the guys third, fourth, fifth back. So maybe they can afford to not pit, save the track position, and not have to worry about the tire wear and dropping off so much speed. But this track does eat the tires up pretty quick, so curious to see if they can pull away. I think they're going to be able to maintain. I don't think that's going to be the problem, Cole. I think the question is, can they pull away, or is it going to be a pretty stacked field here for the race lead up front? That'd be kind of cool to see everyone all grouped together as the old tires try to block off the new tires. And we're gonna find this out. Top 5: Ryan Chapman, Corey Bigley, Derek Runch, Peyton Wagner, Dominic Bettini, which has been most of the top 5 all night long. 11 drivers on the lead lap, all the way back to Joshua Ingram. He's the last car in 11th place before your first lap down car, Chase Rockford, in position 12. Pace car down, throttles down. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. We're gonna have a restart on lap 102, 24 laps remaining.
As per all night long, the outside lane did not fire off very good. That gave Derek Runch the advantage, as Will Hewitt trying to push the issue with Dominic Bettini. Quick note on times, I looked at lap 95 for the top 3 cars: Ryan Chapman, Derek Runch, and Corey Bigley. All of them were almost identical at 19.8s, high 19.8s. The fastest one of them was Ryan Chapman. He ran a 1979, a high 79. So we'll see what these guys can lay down on the fresh tires, and if there's going to be a difference, as we got a battle for the lead. Derek Runch wants it back.
He does get it technically by 9/1000ths of a second back to the official start of the race. The 99 led the first 29 laps of this event, back to the lead on lap 103 and 104 as he clears Ryan Chapman off of turn 4 here. Single file top 2, third and fourth do battle. John Freeman, Corey Bigley. John Freeman's going to have a great launch as Corey gets mad loose off the inside there, unable to secure that spot. Now here comes the 8 of Peyton Wagner, drives it deep into turn 3 and makes it stick with contact, as Corey pinched him off of 4.
Great save to be able to not ping pong off the wall too much. Corey Bigley loose on the inside, took the air off. Bettini slices in front of the 33 of Will Hewitt. Nearly got spun himself. Will Hewitt just kind of stuck in traffic right now. I think he was trying to work his way up, and he is just like nowhere to go. They were too wide in front of him. And, but, Peyton Wagner loose again. Dominic Bettini's going to take that spot.
The fastest guy for the most part this evening, Corey Bigley in the 28, not in a good spot if he wants to get back to the race lead. Drops back all the way to 7th place of getting passed and then getting loose. Cost him all those positions. Here's Chapman and John Freeman. This is a battle for 2nd and 3rd place at the moment. At the line, we're going to be at lap 109. Should be 17 laps remaining here at North Wilkesboro.
I'm looking at the lap times again. Chapman and Freeman are both running kind of what we were talking about, the pre-caution speed. But Derek Runch, as you can see by the half straightaway lead he's running about a 10th or 2 quicker than the rest of the pack. So I'm wondering if he is trying to push the issue and get away with 16 laps to go, knowing how difficult it is to pass, or I'm worried that he's going to get out there and burn his stuff up. Man, everybody out of shape right there in that corner. Chapman, Freeman, Wagner. It was like 3 separate incidents and nearly turned into one big wreck.
Man, as the 49, Dominic Bettini drives into the left rear of Ryan Chapman, able to slow it down enough to bear. 3 wide. Will Hewitt on the inside. This is going to get tight off of turn 4. 8 into the wall. Sandwich.
Bettini, ping pong
almost
balls.
cracks.
Oh, wow, what a save.
Crazy. I knew there was going to be something, and I'm surprised, Colt, that none of them actually end up spinning.
Yeah, because Peyton hit the ball pretty hard, and into Bettini. Bettini nailed the side of Hewitt's car, and looks like Wagner is able to keep the position, but Hewitt's fighting hard. He wants this spot, and Corey Bigley, he's kind of working his way back through here, just letting everybody else make mistakes and see if he can salvage a good night out of this. Peyton Wagner is fighting hard on the outside there. You see that second group working its way in, and oh, Bettini gets turned in 4.
Caution. Caution number 5 here this evening on lap 113. So we're going to re-rack them, restack them with under a 10-lap shootout left in this event. Nerd TV replay has the angles, just drives it in too deep, slides into his buddy here, the 52.
Best friends seem to find each other.
Yeah, not the first time they found right in front of Steve Rader. Wow.
Oh,
Steve.
a little bit of
Steve
contact,
barely.
but I think he's all right. He might need a new fire suit after that, but
Steve, we can't afford fire suits on Nerd Esports, so you don't get one. Sorry.
but with that
wall
discount
slap.
code for Icon Apparel, maybe you could get one. Another
Oh,
set
there
of
you
net
go.
code that looks like they
The best
didn't make
sponsor.
contact.
Best sponsor plug of the season. Like
You're
holy,
welcome. I'll be here all night.
as he gets his shout out of the night. Steve gets a new fire suit virtue of Super Nerd on the Icon Apparel Company website discount code. There you go. And Steve, yeah, just escapes barely from that. But look at the pit stops. You see only 3 cars out there. So the 33 of Will Hewitt will be your 4th lead change amongst 4 different drivers. And it seems like once the leader gets out there, he has a decent amount of time before the pass is attempted. So can Will sneak this one in with under 10 to go?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I am interested. Or I'm surprised really to see Peyton Wagner up there. He was loose and burning the rear tires off of that thing. I'd be a little nervous too, especially starting on the outside. We saw how much wheel spin the outside lane has, and so he needs to either start it in 3rd gear or be very easy on the throttle here, so he doesn't wipe out everybody else. But look who's worked his way up to 3rd place, Steve Rada. After he is needing to change his fire suit, let's hope he doesn't have to do the Tony Stewart walk in victory lane tonight.
Yep. Triple S Steve out here doing his thing, P3 tonight. And 2 of the top 3 don't have a single top 5 this season out of 6 races. That's going to be Peyton Wagner and Steve Rada. Will Hewitt has 2 top 5s. Will this be his 3rd? It looks like all of a sudden he's in a decent chance to lock that down. Just watch the tire spin. You have old tires. You have a lot of new tires right behind you, so you know you're antsy to get going. But you have to run that line of too much versus too little. Pace car down. Let's see how this works. Green flag, spin from the 8. He goes quickly 3 wide. There's going to be a
4
black
wide into
flag.
1.
There's going to be a black flag for passing on the inside. I guarantee it. But let's see here. Still 3 wide. Oh, they're scattering. John Freeman, 4th to 1st. If he can clear Will Hewitt off of turn 4, he does. New race leader.
Will Hewitt needed those cars behind him to be able to last longer on the fighting the fresh tires, but just Peyton Wagner spinning his tires, nearly spinning out. That just cost him a chance at the win right there. Not anything again. Oh,
Oh,
big
he checks
contact.
up the field.
Freeman.
Contact. No.
Oh, hard
Caution.
into the wall.
No caution. Wait, no caution.
There it is.
There it is.
Caution's out.
There it
Caution's
is.
out.
Finally. And the 52 involved yet again.
It's been a rough night
Brandon
for Brandon.
Schumann. Nerd TV replay. Quick in action here. Looking at the 33. Checks because of the 42. Massive locking of the brakes because he got loose. Derek Runs didn't expect it. Taps him in the rear. Taps him in the front. And then good night to the outside. Him in the 52. There you go.
Right into the guardrail, too. They kind of get stuck on that. There was a little bit of contact between the 42 and the 33. Will Hewitt tried to send it off in there, and 42 kind of tried to chop his nose off, and they made a little bit of contact. Will tried to stay off of him. It wasn't like he tried to dive down there and get him. But, 42 hit the curb. The Martinsville curb is back. And speaking of Tony Stewart, that was eerily similar to, this is a throwback, an eerily similar crash to the 2007 Daytona 500. The way the angle caught and getting into the left rear, catching that wheel well, and shooting him back up the track. The only reason I know that is that's my favorite race of all time, and I just watched it a few weeks ago. So, nerding out a little bit.
Well, great news. You're broadcasting for Nerd TV. So if you're going to nerd out, this is the channel and place to do it, as the newly described Nerdy Tudes, or Nerdy Tubes is what has been dubbed as our channel. We're just taking over YouTube apparently in the sim racing broadcast world. The Nerdy Tubes full in effect. As we're going to stack them back up here in 2 laps. Get this thing back rolling. Next lap should technically signal the white flag, but no. We get 1 of 3 overtime attempts here in the PSRA fixed ARCA series. So this will be the first attempt out of 3. Your top 5 on this restart will be John Freeman, Ryan Chapman, Corey Bigley, Peyton Wagner, and Derek Runge. We know the tire difference. Some of them a shot to the front, like the 17 of John Freeman, who's in the 42 number on the door panel. I will call him out on post-race since I finally get the opportunity to do so, if he can maintain this top 3. But I know Ryan Chapman's hungry. He's caused his own issues recently. He's actually been in part of some other people's. It's been, you know, a thorn to get to the front. And this might be the first time he has a shot at it. Let's see how this restart happens. Can Corey recover? He's back to 3rd place. Can he get back to the lead? There's so many questions.
42 taking the outside lane there.
Check up,
Interesting
42.
position.
Ooh, this is not going to be good for... That might make somebody unhappy. Big check right before the restart there. And it's going to allow the 42 to zoom out to the race lead.
You know, I was questioning that decision. Oh, Josh Ingram in the law. But I'm almost wondering if he did that on purpose. Oh, 11 puts the bumper to Freeman. Keeps it straight.
White flag. 1 to go. More contact as Ryan
Chapman
shoves him up the
goes
track.
straight up the track. John Freeman contact. He's into Peyton Wagner. They keep it straight into the pack they go.
Man. Into the
Incorrect,
wall.
but they stay green. Corey Bigley. Not going to get there, though.
No, Ryan Chapman's going to win his first race in the PSRA fixed ARCA series. He gives the bumper cleanly initially in turn 3 and 4, and then they get to 1 and 2. He shoves John Freeman up the track, and then mayhem ensues on the back straightaway to finish this thing off. So there's your short track temper. It happens in overtime. And your top 3 in your podium: Ryan Chapman, Corey Bigley, Dominic Bettini. But man, oh man, that is some very late race drama there, Colt, to finish this one off.
I told you the race wasn't over for the drama. We were asking for it.
You called it.
But, man, he just kind of didn't even give him a chance to make the corner. I didn't have an issue with the initial bump and run, but that right there, I mean, you got to give the guy a lane, and he just didn't do that there. But he had to win a race, and did what he thought he needed to do. Peyton Wagner gets caught up in this. He'd been bouncing off everything but the pace car, but he did a good job keeping it put together, and unfortunately gets caught up there at the end. John Freeman, he was frustrated. I saw him basically spin out coming to the line, just matting the throttle. So interesting finish here at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, when you're in that kind of predicament, man, as a race leader or someone up there in a good finishing position, when you know something might happen and then it happens exactly how you think, and then you get upset thinking, why we could have avoided this, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is. We're going to talk about it in our post-race show. We still don't have that little cut scene thanks to Stream Deck. But before we go to the post-race interviews, we're going to go over our finishing results here tonight. And as I pull our drivers, Mr. Colt, if you'd like to go down that finishing result.
Yes, let me pull this back up here. I was making some adjustments. We got Ryan Chapman finally getting his first win of the season with Corey Bigley getting 2nd place. Dominic Bettini sneaks another podium. Good on him. Joshua Ingram comes back for a 4th place finish. Mark Truxell, last week's winner, gets a top 5. Chase Rockford in sixth position. Steve Rada gets caught up there at the end in that last accident, but he is able to maintain seventh. Peyton Wagner, eighth, also caught up in that incident. And John Freeman gets ninth. Yeah, he was able to make it across the line, but heavily damaged. Derek Runge 10th. Anthony Burleson is 11th. Brandon Schumann, who had a rough night, is 12th. Will Hewitt also is out of the race. I didn't see what happened to him, but he is 13th. Frank Griffith, 14th. Aaron Longworth, 15th. Keenan Kimber, 16th. Vincent Short, 17th. And that is all of the cars that took the green flag tonight. And back to you, Jeremy.
All right. Well, it looks like we do have our top three. Third place, Dominic Bettini, driver the number 49. We're going to bring him in first here as we kick off the post-race show, presented by Victory Fuel. And here we go. Third place, Dominic Bettini. This is Jeremy and Colt in the booth. You have a copy.
Yes, sir. I hear you loud and clear.
Man, oh man, what a race! A lot of this, a lot of that. You started in seventh place, so overall +4 to your third place finish. Walk us through your race. How'd you end up in P3 tonight with what went down here?
Well, I felt like the car had a top 5 car tonight. This West Lenore Motorsports Toyota was pretty speedy in the long run. I think if it went green, I probably would have finished up in the top 5 too. Honestly, that caution kind of helped me, kind of with like 50 to go or something. And then I lost talent twice. I was trying to get around actually, what am I saying? I'm getting this step up. I hit the 52 and caused the caution. And apologies to the 52. That was not intentional. I was just trying to get around him, and it's hard. But yeah, I caused 2 cautions. Hadn't caused a caution all year, and to do it twice here sucks. But we were fast, and we came back for a P3.
Yeah, 10-4, man. The handling was a handful, to say the least. In practice, I saw it. Me and Colt commented on it multiple times, and then the race, a lot of drivers were just not having a fun time. But I don't think I called your name once for ill handling. So, what were you doing a little different to kind of maybe not behind the wheel? You probably felt loose, but we didn't see it visually. So, how were you able to kind of keep it more stable than others?
I don't want to get all my secrets away on the broadcast, but I do say a lot of a lot of it came down to tire management. I figured if I can save tires, I'll be fast in the long run, and that's kind of what happened. I don't think I was too bad in the short run. I just think that maybe we got lucky there at the end to salvage a third. Probably shouldn't have been up here. Apologies to Derek. He probably could have won this race if I didn't cause that self spin. Just locked it up.
Yeah, 10-4 on that, man. Congrats on P3, though. Excellent job to bring it home there. And any final shout-outs before we let you go?
Yeah, I'm gonna shout out my buddies, Derek, Rodney, Aaron, and my teammates Peyton and Keenan. Shout out to Peyton for his race. My buddy Jason as well, and just anyone watching the broadcast. Thanks for coming out and watching this. I hope you were entertained. And yeah, it's always fun.
All right, man. Enjoy the rest of your night. Next week, we're going left and right turns, Watkins Glen style, man.
Oh,
good luck
God.
out there, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. I'm not much of a road course expert, but at least it's one I know. So y'all take care.
You too, man. There's a comment for the night. Oh, God. We're going left and right turns, Colt. I hear you have driver Corey Bigley, second place down there in on pit road.
Hey, Corey. P2 tonight. You got a copy up here in the Nerd TV booth?
Yeah, I got you.
Got my interview turned around a little backwards there, but you were able to come back home after a fairly dominant first half of the race, and then kind of a topsy-turvy second half there. Talk me through your race and how you are feeling coming out of North Wilkesboro.
It was really good. I just didn't want to see no cautions because I really had a really good long run car. I knew I would play the game, just be a little easy behind lap cars because you have to take my time. And at first, I was just being easy, letting these guys drive hard. I know you have unlimited tires, but I don't drive it like it has unlimited tires. I drive it like it has like 1 or 2 sets. That's how I race and everything on here. And I just try to, because just to me, I don't like the unlimited tires. I like to at least have like 1 or 2 sets. That's what I'm used to at different leagues, just how my racing is on the trucks and all that. It just has to be play a game. I know these guys drive so hard so early, and I just wasn't really driving hard kind of let these guys go a little bit, and then I rolled the top on Will, and I just was being really easy and just taking my time. And I would lose a tenth here or lose a half tenth here, and I still would try next lap. I would go about tenth faster. I'm like, okay, I'm not really driving that hard. I would be so soft off the corner, but I think I would have. And then I lost my headset. My headset died about right after the 11 got by me. I just couldn't hear the gas pedal because I didn't want to spin the tires off. I just I'm just really good at just being easy on tires. I'm pretty good on long runs. I just wish there was no unlimited tires because you guys are so hard. Just saying how I am.
Well, we had talked about, Jeremy and I had talked about in the race, some of the guys turning 100 plus laps in practice and kind of teaching themselves bad habits in that 100 laps. They found speed, but it was burning the tires off, and it seems like that kind of translated. And you learned the good habits. You've practiced, saving tires, and that's kind of the number one rule in iRacing that unfortunately a lot of people have to learn the hard way. And but you seem to have figured it out and worked your way back up to a P2. What are your thoughts going next week to the road course at Watkins Glen?
I think I'll be decent, but I have to see if I can make it on time because we are real racing next weekend at Auburndale, and that's just the hard part to see if I can make it or not because it's hard because we have to get 2 cars done, and that's the only thing that's hard because I'm coming back up. We're coming back up racing again. We had this whole month off, and just we're getting the car done. It's for my dad. My dad hasn't raced the late model in like 3 or 4 years, but he'll be fine because we know we have a good backup car because he don't want to mess up my brother's primary car.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's hard because I don't know if I'm hit and miss. I know I'm pretty close in the thing. I missed a race. I missed Daytona, and then I knew I had been pretty good, and this helps me even more back in the points.
Well, if we see you at Watkins Glen, good luck there. If we don't, good luck real racing. And it sounds like you've got a pretty good program that you're putting together there. So either way, good luck, and I'm sure we'll see you pretty soon.
Yeah, and yeah, like I said, and I'm really like a short track guy too on here, and but I'm getting better at the bigger tracks too. I know how to run the Glen because if I figured out early in practice because I seen it starting getting hotter and hotter and hotter, and I knew these guys drive so hard they're gonna lose the right rear, and I just watched it in front of them. I was just taking my time with Lil, and I seen him just start to get sideways off. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna roll by him because I knew he started getting worse and worse because I seen the 8 coming, and I just tried to just take my time and figure it out. But yeah, I was pretty happy when I got about, and I was happy when I had 8 seconds, almost lapping the fourth too.
Well, congratulations on second place tonight, and yeah, like I said, good luck at either Watkins Glen or at your local short track, and we'll see you then.
All right, yeah, and thank you guys for putting it on too. I can at least go back and watch it.
10-4,
Go do,
man.
man. Yeah, it was a fun one. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time.
Yep, I'll see you guys.
Yes, sir. And now it's time to load up Victor Lane as we have one driver left to interview, and that might be the man who won tonight's race, Mr. Ryan Chapman. Welcome to Victor Lane, sir.
Thanks, guys. I just want to start off by saying I apologize to John. That was a really shitty move on my part. I just got really sideways coming into one and got into him, and I feel like shit for it. But yeah, overall it was a fun race. The track was icy, and it was sliding all around. But yeah, it was a fun race, and up until that last lap.
Mr. Chapman knew what question I was going to ask. Sir, into turn number 1, or was it 3? It was 3 when you got underneath him. It was a great bumper. You didn't do anything negative. You just kind of assisted your pass, but the turn 1 was a little overdrive. So accidents happen there. But minus that, though, the race leader seemed to like take control for a little bit, and then things would flip flop. Derek led the first 30 laps, and then Corey led a bunch of laps, and then it just kind of seemed like there was a flip flop. I know it's tough to pass here because the cars are really loose.
Mhm.
And you made several attempts on the inside. Can you just walk through like how difficult it is to pass at North Wilkesboro?
It's really hard. It's so hard because you want to try to use all the track you can, especially on the bottom. And like you were saying, when I went into one, I overestimated what my tires were going to hold up on, and I tried to send it in there and wrap the bottom because I knew John was on 2 tires. So I'm like, okay, if I can get in there, hold it down there, and just wrap the bottom, I can have a shot at him coming out of 3 or coming into 3. And it just out of nowhere just started losing the rear end, and I tried to catch it, and I don't know how close John was to me, but I just slid up right into him, and it's hard, man. The key part here is to try to pass on that outside because I made a good amount of passes on the outside, but the only way you're really going to get a pass on the inside done is if someone gets loose on the high side or if you can somehow figure out how to rep that bottom and coast around them. But yeah, just a little too hard aggression on my part. Just really wanted to win this league, come back and talk to you boys. It's been a minute. But yeah, overall, I mean, I had fun. But I know John's a little pissed off at me, but we'll talk about it and we'll be good for next week.
See you next week, man. Watkins Glen, left and right turns. How you feeling about a road course?
I'm decent at walk-ins. I mean, I am a 2-time winner there in the 6 hour in the LMDH car, so I do know my way around that track. Just in LMDH, not an ARCA car. So it's gonna be a little bit of a challenge, but we're gonna get some practice in here and get better at it, and just kind of see where it flows from there.
All right, man. Well, congrats on the first win of the season. Second top 5 finish for you. Any shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously you guys, Nerdtudes, for putting on a break broadcast as always, and I'm glad to be back part of it and glad to be back around you boys, supporting Nerdtudes, supporting Icon Apparel, all the guys at Elevated Esports, Brandon and John for coming to run with me, and and our buddy Tony, who also runs with us. But Elevated Outdoors, Victory Fuel, Branded Country Band. And just everyone that helps us over there at Elevated, just trying to get better, man. And I love these short tracks. Just got to get better in the ARCA car at it.
And side note, appreciate you as well. We started calling your name a couple years ago, and you seem to just kind of float around our broadcasted portions of the races. So no matter what league, you just kind of happen to be there. So thanks for the support on your end as well. And maybe we'll talk to you next week since you know Watkins Glen.
Yeah, man. Like I said, I love being around you boys. Nothing better.
Excellent, man. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of the night. Congrats. We'll catch you next week.
Thank you, boys. You too.
And there it is, Ryan Chapman, winner of tonight's race at North Wilkesboro, 125 laps down. A very, very fun race overall, Colt. We saw a lot of green flag laps. I don't know if I came into this thing expecting to say that, but there was solid 50, 55 laps of continuous green flag action. So pretty cool.
Yeah, it had a very old school race vibe to it. It was a couple of cautions right off the bat. I figured that was going to happen. Very long green flag run, and then after that, it was pretty solid. I mean, there was some decent sized runs that were made, and then a caution, and then decent sized run. There was never any point where they were stretching it out, other than that first set of green flag pit stops, which again, did not think we were going to have green flag pit stops at North Wilkesboro Speedway. But yeah, we got it. So everybody was able to back it down, get their head screwed back on straight, and made a good push and put on a overall great race.
Yeah, pretty good race, I would say. Watkins Glen next week. That'll be fun to call with you. As we're gonna do it next Thursday live at the same time frame, 9 p.m. Eastern, 8 Central. Dustin Loxton behind the scenes doing all the buttons. I forget to shout his name out every pre-race, and it's so stupid to me, but I'm going to do it now. Thank you, sir, for doing an excellent job behind the scenes with the camera work and all the graphics. And I know you're working overtime, moving stuff around whenever a button box should be doing it for you, Stream Deck, but it's okay. We'll hopefully get that fixed soon. Or maybe a new software to kind of help us, along the way to allow those fancy stuff that we do all the time happen more frequently. So that being said, we're going to close this thing down, and we'll catch you next Thursday for you PSRA fans out there that are watching. But we do go live this Sunday, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, for the Global Racing Truck Series for their 2025 season. You guys, until then, stay safe, Get your nerd on. And it's not goodbye. It's just till next time. See you then.
Back when nothing truly mattered.